Hello, everybody. I'm here wishing you happy holidays, happy Christmas and New Year. Today, I wanted to speak about forgiveness at Christmas. It's a really good time to forgive. Obviously, for some people, it's a religious time. Other people, it's a family time. Sometimes it can be with your friends as well. When you reflect and look back over the year you've just had, there's probably some things you need to forgive and some people you need to forgive, and also yourself. They say that you can't forgive until you let go of the anger and the hurt, and I think that's true. And then they say you can't forgive if you're going to keep blaming people and wanting to punish them. So while you're in blame punishment mode, I don't think you're really in the forgiveness mode, are you? And that's a really good way for you to find out where you are. So the best thing I advise you to do is, if you want to forgive someone, you have to let go of the anger. You have to let go of the hurt and any emotional pain they caused you. You have to let go of the grudges you're holding. And you have to let go. And when you do that, then you will cease to want to blame them, because it's like non-existent, and you won't want to punish them anymore. Now, the punishment come in quiet ways. It can be that you don't ring as often or you withdraw. Some people punish very openly, and they'll do it that way. But you just got to sort of look at yourself and see how you do things so you can change it. When I go to do this, you can do the forgiveness for the people and not have to be with them. I usually do it telepathically. So I call the person to me and I think of them, and I just say to them, Bob or Sue, whoever it is, I need to forgive you. I need to forgive you for everything that went down. I got hurt, I got so and so. Say what you feel. And now I no longer hold those feelings. I let them go, and I'll forgive you completely. And I'll forgive you completely. And I'll forgive you completely. You have to sort of do it very concentrated. And with many people, I went back and did the forgiveness again. I also asked within that framework whether they wanted to forgive me. Please forgive me for anything I've done that's hurt you, upset you, made you angry. Please forgive me. It's like making a clean slate, and that's why I think that this time of the year is really good, because the new year's coming and we can start afresh. I just feel that someone has to start the process. Some people hold on to that they'll never forgive, like it's a really strong thing. I'll never forgive them, it's unforgivable. And that's the anger and the hurt talking. And maybe later that goes and they do forgive and forget, because you have to forget as well and let it go. But they think it makes them strong, but I think it actually ties them to the situation, keeps you in a loop. You can't forgive often at the very beginning. If it's been quite hard for you, you'll find it hard to forgive them. You can forgive people also and maybe not choose to be with them much because they're really unhealthy for you. For example, if you've had an abusive husband, you can forgive him, but you don't have to be with him if you're now separated. If you've had abusive friends or people who are nasty around you or mean-spirited, you can forgive them, but it doesn't mean you're going to be putting much investment in those relationships. It's like a closing off point of that part of the relationship. Some of the people you'll want to stay with, they might be special family and also friends. They might even be people at work and you need to stay with them. Forgiving them for what they do in your eyes, how you see it, you then let that go and you can actually probably move on in the relationship on some level. I feel once you've forgiven them, you also might need to put up boundaries. Not fences, not walls, just boundaries to what you will and won't accept, because then you'll just get yourself back in that pattern. So have your boundaries, like I will stay on the phone with you, I'll meet you while it's so-and-so, but if you start to become in a way that I feel is making me feel hurt or angry, I'll verbalise it. If it doesn't stop, I'll just, maybe we'll end our visit today. You need to have boundaries, I think, with some people. You can't just forgive them. For example, if you were with someone who kept hitting you, you forgave them and they kept hitting you, you'd have to start making boundaries, because otherwise it's not safe for you. You can also forgive things that have happened, how things have gone down, because sometimes when you look back you think, oh my God, they went down so badly. I wish we could have done that one again. So you just forgive that that's how it was, accept it, let it go, and leave the past in the past and learn anything that you needed to learn from that. It's a really good thing to do as well. And I feel that they talk about forgiving yourself. I think this is quite powerful, because when we don't forgive ourselves, we will be angry with ourselves, we will be upset with ourselves, we might have regret and guilt of how we've done something. So you need to forgive yourself for that. If you didn't do it very well, you're just human. Some people are really good at pressing buttons too. You might have people that you've known who just pressed your button and off you went. So you just need to forgive yourself for that, and then now try and make new structures for yourself. Like if you feel that feelings coming back up, you might need to put your boundary up and change the subject, and or leave the room, and or end the phone call in a nice way. It's really important, the forgiveness thing. I think that it's actually because you're holding those emotions and they're really bad for the body. You know, there's that little saying about the poison saying, you probably all know that saying. And so the thing is that it isn't not forgiving that poisons you. It's the emotions that you hold when you don't forgive, like the rage, the hate, the anger, the resentment, the upset, the distress it's caused you, the emotional pain, the damage you took. You might have taken some physical, emotional, mental, psychological damage from what's gone down, then you need to let all those emotions go. So as I say, always use your modalities to do that. Writing a letter can be good too, just for you, because so cathartic, so cleansing. You write your letter to the person, you tell them you forgive them, you say what really upset you in the letter, how you really felt, and you say it in your letter, and then you send and give them forgiveness. Ask for them to forgive you. Very powerful too to read the letter back to yourself aloud. That'll actually really release a lot when you actually read it aloud. It's a big release. I'm not saying you have to send the letter. You could, I suppose, if you wanted to, but I just feel it's more like for you and to release it. But the letters can be a good thing to do. I feel that the two biggest words in the world are I am, or three actually. Not I'm. It's either I'm sorry, I suppose, or I am sorry. Those words change the energy. They have an energy about it. I am sorry has a real devout love energy to it. I'm really sorry I did that. And it's also taking responsibility for your actions. Within the world now, there's so much about not forgiving. There are people who are pushing to encourage people to forgive. However, it's seen almost as a weakness. And if you come out of a family where they never forgave anybody, you will have that genetic blueprint. So be careful of that, because, you know, your family will not like it when you forgive people. They don't like it. They think you lose your power. They don't realise that you gain power and you get better health because all those emotions make people sick. I think it's a good idea to do it when you're quiet and on your own. No one can disturb you. I would do it several times as well. I just didn't do it once. So I've been sending lots of love to people in my prayers, sending them love and asking that they give forgiveness to me, and then I give forgiveness to them. It's all telepathic. I don't say it to some of these people. But every time I think of them, I just send them love and forgiveness. You can put those two together. They're quite powerful, love and forgiveness. It's the time we need to shed a lot of things, especially before 25, because this year's quite messy, and we need to shed it on a personal level, and also will help the vibration of the world with more people forgiving and coming to the table and compromising, which is what they're trying to do with all these talks lately and trying to stop this imminent war. I think you enjoy doing it in a way. First, when you do it, you might feel it's a little bit wooden, a little bit not fake, but not quite there. But as you do it more and more, you'll find your heart opens more and you have more forgiveness and you're sending more good light and more love to them. Because while you're not forgiving someone, you're actually inadvertently sending them your anger and your hurt and your resentment and your hate. You actually sort of, because you're connected telepathically, the emotions can go backwards and forwards, so you can actually affect them. And I think to teach people to forgive by example is a good thing for your family and for your friends to see that. Forgiveness is big, and it's probably the hardest thing to do because some things do seem unforgivable. But often behind the person who's doing the damage, there was a lot of damage for them. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. That's actually the reason they're so messed up. They've either got it through their genes and it's been passed down, those traits, and or they've got it through something that's happened to them. Do your forgiveness, your Christmas forgiveness, and I think you're going to find that you'll feel lighter, you'll feel more love toward people, you'll feel more peace, you'll feel more calm. We are humans, but we're also soul, and I think it's our soul who wants us to do the forgiveness. It's the humans who's running around going, no, I don't want to, and I won't, and it's their fault, and shame, blame, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, you need to, if you want to ascend and become higher spiritually, you have to really listen to your soul. So that's today's podcast on forgiveness. So good luck with it. I've been doing mine, and I think you're going to feel lighter and you'll feel better. And I hope that it makes your Christmas and your New Year a happier time. So I'm sending you lots of love and lots of light.